sitting this morning at the Koisel with my friend Rachamim from Brooklyn, and I have to tell you, we had quite an incredible experience this morning. I was heading to the Koisel for Shachris, and I was sure that I had this list of names that I'm davening for here, for 40 days at the Koisel. You could be part of it soon if you, and I'll speak about that at the end of this year. But I was absolutely sure I had it. I got on the bus, and I looked at my computer, and lo and behold, I realized it's not there. Anyway, I was just leaving Harnov, so I had to make a split-second decision. Get off the bus and go get the list, or not to have the list. Since I committed myself to these people to daven for 40 days for their Yeshua, so it wasn't an option not to have the list. Otherwise, I would have to come back again later, which would have been a very great tircha. So I got off the bus, and I was quite upset. Today, actually, my wife told me, is the hottest day in the year in Israel. And it was quite hot. It was at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was quite hot. And what did I do? I felt really, really annoyed. So I started fulfilling the halacha in Shulchan Aruch. It's in Rachmana, it's hey. It says, L'olam ye adam rogel lomar, kol mad Avid Rachmana Ltav Avid. A person should always accustom himself to say, kol mad Avid Rachmana Ltav Avid. Everything that the merciful one does, he does for good, or to the good. And I started saying that. And every time the phrase came out of my mouth, I said, I feel really upset that this happened, but I know it's good. And every time I said it, I felt a little bit better. I felt a little bit more that maybe this, no, not maybe, but definitely there's something good. Anyway, it was about 6-7 minutes past. I was walking down the steps towards the street, Agassi Street where I live, and I saw a young man, right, who asked me about a taxi, Rachamim. And I said, well, actually, I just ordered a taxi 1 minute ago. I'm going to the coastal. He asked me to taxi the coastal. Why don't you join me? And then he asked me, what is your name? And I said, Rabbi Travis, Daniel Travis. He said, my name is Rachamim. And it turns out that Rachamim has been writing to me for a year about a certain Shail Chamura that I've been involved with Moshe Sternbach. And now he's in Harnov, and he's right next door to my home. He's staying right next door to my home. And it was a perfect opportunity, hopefully, he gets the final decision. So number one, this Shaila has to be answered. It's a very critical question. Number two, he needed to get to the Kosel, and he needed to have a taxi, which he couldn't find, right? So these two needs came together. And what did Hashem do in his infinite understanding, right? My favorite pasuk in Pesukei Zimra, by now, when he watches the Shirs knows, Godel Adonai Rav Koach L'Tfunaso Ein Mispar. Hashem has very great, his Tfunaso, his understanding is without Mispar. His IQ is unlimited. It's infinite, right? So what did Hashem do with his infinite IQ? He brought me to get off the bus, say, Koma David Rachmana Ltav Avid, so I get in the Chizuk and Emunah, meet him, be able to answer the Shaila, and get Rachamim to the Kosel, right? Do you have any question at this point that everything Hashem does is good? And the incredible thing is that he encloses it. He cloaks the good in the bad. As I always say from the Zohar, Lefi rova choshech rova or. The more bad it looks, the more good is in there. It's like the pomelo example, right? It's a really thick peel, but a really delicious fruit. So once again, we see clearly, right? And my friend Rachamim will confirm it. No? You confirm it? He confirms it. He's nodding his head, confirmation. Yeah? That everything Hashem does is good, and there's no point, even for 1 second, having the slightest doubt. But we do. Even myself, who's given over 1,400 shir, and then Hashem when things look bad, even I have my reservations. And Hashem has to be mechazik me, and therefore He brings me into these situations. Okay. I'll just finish off on the following note. Bezrat Hashem, we're having our campaign this week for the Kollel, and as part of the campaign, I will be davening 40 days at the Kosel. For anyone who gives the Kollel $85 a month for 12 months, that's $1,020 over the year. I will daven passionately for a name that you send me, family or friends, sickness, Yeshua, Parnasa. Just write to me at dytravis613 at gmail.com, dytravis613 at gmail.com, and we'll send you the link. And B'ezrat Hashem, all our tefillah should be answered, and Hashem should help us come to Emunah without Yisurim. Look at this. What was the Yisurim in the end of the day? I had to walk from the bus 7 minutes, right? And it was hot. Okay, it's not nothing. But still, if we accept Hashem's will under all circumstances, no matter how dark it looks, Hashem will show us that He is the epitome, the epitome of mercy, and everything He does is good. And He does it in an incredibly, infinitely smart way, if we're even allowed to say that, such a thing, to teach us, Eino Movado. He's in control of everything. And when things happen in our life which we don't understand, we have to follow in the ways of Leimenu and David HaMelech and Yehuda and Rebbe Kiva, all of them who are descendants of Leah, right? Hapam Oris Hashem, to thank Hashem not only when things look good, but also when things look bad. So once again, let's strengthen ourselves in this halacha in Shulchan Aruch, Reish Lamed Sif Hey. And by the way, if you look in the Kaf HaChaim, he brings a very important addition to this halacha. He said, Kol Ma'ad Avid is going in the past. What do you about the future? If you want to down for the future, he says, Atov Beinecha Yaseh. What's good in your eyes do. When you keep these two tefillas, right? One in your right hand, one in your left hand, right? When something goes wrong, say Kol Ma'ad Avid. When you want something to go right, say Atov Beinecha Yaseh. Whatever Hashem does, you want, do that. If you go like this, you're living with Hashem. That's Shvisi Hashem Negdi Tamid, and Bezrat Hashem, you will see Hashem in your life all the time, 24/7. Aboteach Hashem Chesed Yusufenu. He's surrounded by Hashem's kindness. So again, let's keep strengthening ourselves in the halacha. If you would like to meet to daven for you 40 days of the Kosel for Yeshua, that's write to me at dytravis613@gmail.com. The campaign is this week, Wednesday and Thursday, Erev Rosh Chodesh and Rosh Chodesh El. And B'ezrat Hashem, all our tefillah should be answered. We should see Hashem clearly in our life in all situations. We shouldn't need to get upset because as I've learned, it's so ridiculous to get upset. Everything Hashem does is good. We don't always see it right away, but the Sfarim say that if you say Kol Ma'ad Avid, it's like putting the sugar in the coffee. I have here a cup of coffee right here. There was no milk this morning, so it's just black coffee. But I put a little sugar in it. It tastes much better. We could put sugar in our life as well, and the sugar in our life is Kol Ma'ad Avid. When you say that, you're mamdik the din in b'shorashim, as the Arizal says. You get to the shorish, the root of the din, and you sweeten it, and then it becomes rachmim. Hashem should help us see this all very quickly. Amen. Ken Jerusalem.